Welcome to the real world. Our next real commentary is here. We are watching Beetlejuice. Carson is joining me again. Are you ready for this?
I am Carson, and we are about to do a commentary. I am ready for this.
Okay, cool. All right, well, we're on the main menu. If you have it on 4K or Blu-ray, this 4K edition is stunning. I watched it as soon as I got it about a year ago. So we're on the main menu. We're going to hit play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. It's showtime. There it goes. Okay, now it's playing.
We'll give some descriptors as to what's on screen.
Yes.
To ensure people are caught up.
Hopefully you can hear the music playing there. The logo's coming up. There it is. Harry Belafonte's memorable song.
The Geffen Company.
That's right. Distributed by Warner Brothers, a Warner Communications company.
Not
anymore.
So many companies have come and gone.
Yeah. It's true.
I just watched a Touchstone movie.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what happened to Touchstone?
Right.
They're gone. It's over.
There it is. There's the opening title, Beetlejuice.
Really cool graphic.
Yeah. It is. It's a lot of stuff about this movie.
This is one of those good atmospheric movies.
It is.
It builds its atmosphere very well.
Yes, I agree.
This is early in Tim Burton's career.
Yep, this is his second film, coming off of Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Which is just phenomenal.
It is a great movie.
Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
And so this came out March 30th, 1988. And
now I guarantee you, we have yet to see Beetlejuice, the much anticipated legacy sequel.
Yes.
I guarantee you this is the opening shot to that movie.
Maybe. It could be. It'd be great if they had these opening credits, too. I miss opening credits. We've talked about that before.
Yeah, I like opening credits that have, like, graphics.
Right.
Or some kind of animation.
Right. Yeah, this is really well done. Kind of
Is this a miniature? It almost looks like a miniature.
You know, I was about to say it was, but I don't think it is.
It's hard to tell.
It is. Hard to tell.
And that's good news.
That is good news. Music composed by Danny Elfman, frequent collaborator of Tim Burton. And we're recording this on Michael Keaton's birthday.
Oh, really?
Today is his 73rd birthday.
Wow.
And see, I think that was a transition to this is a model now.
It's possible.
I don't know. I still can't tell.
It's difficult to tell.
I know.
I think you're right, though. I think this is a model. Because I don't think that this building exists.
Right. Yeah, this has got to be a model, I think, right?
Well, it's a model. It's a model until they go into a set, I think.
No? Watch. I remember now how this movie starts.
Oh my goodness. What a great little surprise.
Yeah. Love that. Great opening. Great memorable opening.
Nice subversion.
Yes. Giant spider attack.
And also kind of like a meta-commentary of what we're about to experience. It's kind of not exactly what it seems.
Right. Yeah, you kind of... If you go into this not knowing anything, you're going to be very surprised by what happens to our main characters here. Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis. Gina Davis is one of my favorite actresses.
She's so good.
Great in everything.
I love her because she loves RRR.
Yeah. Yeah, in her recent interview with Letterboxd, she said RRR is one of her top 4 favorite films of all time. Very big surprise.
I know her, of course, as Mom from Stuart Little 2.
Yes.
She's in the first one, but
yeah.
Stuart Little 2 is when she's the best.
Yeah, so this is an interesting movie. I was doing a little bit of research, and I guess Burton, coming off of Pee-wee's Big Adventure, that was like a huge hit.
Sure.
He was now kind of a bankable director after, before Pee-wee, he did a lot of short films for Disney.
That's right. He did the
Frankenweenie live-action short.
Have you seen his live-action short?
So the other day, I'm going through and watching all the movies I haven't seen by Burton.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen them all now, except for Sweeney Todd.
Okay.
So I finally watched the Frankenweenie short film and his full-length stop-motion Frankenweenie film, which I think both are brilliant.
I agree. I watched them both last year for Halloween.
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah, that original short film with Shelley Duvall is really great.
It is so good.
I love it.
It is so good. So anyways,
So
he
quaint
comes
and
off
smart.
that. He comes off that doing Pee-wee. It's a big hit. Then he starts instantly working on a script for Batman
Right.
with a guy named Sam Hamm, which I just thought was a great name. I was doing my research. And so they're developing that, but I guess they weren't willing to give him the green light on it until he did something else. So this script was offered to him by two guys, Michael McDowell and Larry Wilson wrote the script.
Those are powerful names.
An original screenplay, and Burton liked it, so he accepted the job, brought in a different screenwriter named Warren Shackering, and they basically toned it down. It was a very hard R, graphically violent,
Like an Evil Dead?
insane,
I definitely see this being kind of like that.
Right, yeah, Beetlejuice was like this crazed little red-winged demon.
Okay.
Like a murderer who was like, tormenting people. And
That's not too far off.
Yeah. They added a lot more comedy, toned Beetlejuice down a little bit, just kind of made him more of a kind of perverted troublemaker.
This movie still has much of an edge, though. See,
it definitely
there's that
does.
set.
Yes, it definitely
That
does.
house is amazing.
It is a great house. It's a great movie house.
It's a very Burton house.
Yeah.
But it's not like the Charlie Beckett house from his Charlie and the Chocolate Factory movie.
Yeah.
Where it's like it looks like it's from Nightmare Before Christmas, like it's a total cartoon.
Yeah.
But this is like, okay, it looks like a real house.
Right, but it's a little
But
quirky.
it has weird kind of aspects to it.
Right.
This couple is so sweet.
They're a great couple. They're a great movie couple.
A great newlywed couple.
In a yellow station wagon. Doesn't get any more Americana small town than this.
Sure.
It's a great setup for our story. Again, if you haven't seen it, you assume, this is going to be a kind of fun little rom-com or something. It's kind of how it's all set up. Again, very like 1950s-esque Americana small town feel. You got the old barber.
Yeah, that's very Tim Burton-y.
Here outside the shop.
Tim Burton loves the radio flyer aesthetic.
Yes, he's big on. Yeah, that's what he grew up on, right? Was that 50s kind of B-movie, monster movie feel.
Sure.
He always is paying homage to all that stuff. Ray Harryhausen, he loves stop motion. There's stop motion all over this movie. I just love this old guy. It's just like
rambling.
It's just, if you've ever lived in a small, I know a guy like that kind of.
Sure.
In our own downtown here, in our small town we live in. It's fun. The dog, it's always a dog, right? It's always some animal, little animal, squirrel, swerve and miss the animal so that you can.
Oh my goodness, it's an episode of Smallville.
Right, yes. It's the pilot to Smallville.
My son was in the station wagon. You love that shot.
I love that of the dog on the plank. Oh, now he's gone. They're dead. There they are.
It's a shocking turn of events.
Yeah, and you don't really know they're dead yet, right? I mean, you assume, because it jumps from this and it fades out and it hard cuts here, and cuckoo clock, fire igniting itself. It's a little bit off, but and they're soaking wet, so you're going, oh, okay, they got out somehow. Yeah, I guess the original script showed them struggling and dying in the car, her arm getting crushed, and
Oh no.
that's a great moment.
It's a good effect.
It is really good. The sky's that weird orange color, everything's just, they're a little bit off. Something's going on here.
Ooh.
This is cool.
Great camera trickery.
Yeah. This is very early blue screen stuff.
Yeah.
First hint at the sandworms. We're going to get our Dune sequence later.
Tim Burton's Dune. Shia LaBeouf.
Coming only 4 years off of David Lynch's Dune.
What a nightmare that movie was. We got no reflection.
Yeah.
It's another cool trick. So many cool effects in this movie.
Yeah. Oh, most in camera.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, this is way before CGI days or anything.
Tim Burton, especially at this point in his career, is big on visual gags.
Yeah.
But works both for humor and horror.
Yes, that's the thing that this movie blends so well. Is now we're learning what's going on with these characters. We're getting this idea that okay, this is going to be kind of a ghost story.
From the ghost's perspective.
Right. Very unique. It really is a great concept. I mean, it's a very unique idea.
Sure.
And I think it's executed really well. This is, I don't know if you know, this is the first Tim Burton movie I ever saw.
Really?
Yeah, I remember seeing this when I was pretty young on TV. I don't know if it was, I don't know what channel, Disney Channel or Nickelodeon or something. Played it, and I was just enamored by it. Because it was unlike anything I'd seen, you know?
Sure.
From the effects to the story, the characters, it was just so... You know, as a kid especially, you're scared by it, but it's like it's funny enough to where it's not too scary, you know.
Yeah.
So it works for a younger audience, I think, pretty well.
It's kind of got a Goonies feel.
A little bit, yeah. There's an adventure
it's fun,
aspect
fun,
to
scary.
it. Mm-hmm.
It's fun to be scared sometimes.
Yes,
kids should be scared.
I agree.
Because it's fun.
Film is a safe environment to be scared.
Sure.
Right?
If you're gonna be scared of something.
Right. And this is our title character. I was about to call him the protagonist, but he's not really.
I love that the newspaper's just the obituaries.
Yeah, right.
It's great.
Yeah, this is a great tease. It's not a reveal yet. It's a tease of our title character, who, again, I guess you would call him the antagonist of the film.
Oh, the graveyard.
Yeah, that's a great moment. The dust and everything. You know, when he closed the book, the dust, and then they sit on everything, the dust. It's just a cool visual. It's a great exploration of the afterlife and, like, you know, what that be like. And it's not, you know, it's not denying heavy. There's an afterlife.
Sure.
And
it's not trying to be heavy.
No, it's not at all
it's
trying to be heavy.
It's having fun with the concept.
Right.
It's not trying to be profound.
Right.
Or really even very emotional.
Mm-hmm. But it's not necessarily making fun of.
No, it's not a parody.
The idea of the afterlife.
Right.
It's just kind of.
It's not like a. Yeah, it's not like a parody.
Yeah, it's not spoofing like
ghost movies or anything like that.
It's skirting that edge.
It's just having fun with the idea.
Mm-hmm.
I miss Tim Burton's light and cheerful visuals.
Yeah, very colorful. I mean, this film,
especially early on, he had so much. He used color so wisely.
He did. Even in his Batman movies that are, you know, very dark.
It's such a good shot.
Yeah, I love that. Floating there next to the bed and falls. Yeah, even his Batman movies have color to them, like really vibrant color. Like a lot of it's in shadow, but not all of it. And then here's our introduction to...
Oh my goodness, it's the McAllisters.
Great Catherine O'Hara, the great Jeffrey Jones as Mr. and Mrs. Dietz.
I wonder if that's a Deet of Worms reference.
Somehow doubt it.
I doubt it. Deet is like an old, it's an old-timey word that is appropriate, I think, for this. old-timey German word.
Mm-hmm. And the way each character
Okay,
looks,
so
just the
the
looks.
lines too are
And here she is,
Winona. She's so young here.
the young Winona Ryder.
We love Winona Ryder.
We adore her.
She's so terrific.
She's fantastic in everything. Just, did you get to see her Criterion Closet?
I did, yeah.
Oh man, it's
that was
one of
a
my
great
favorites
episode.
I've ever seen. She's such a cinephile and just enthusiastic about everything, the art form. And Tim Burton just got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Really?
Yeah, he just got it, I think yesterday or 2 days ago. And she was there. And she, of course, gave a speech. And
Oh, cool.
because this is like her breakout role. You
Sure,
know,
yeah.
so
Yeah, of course.
pretty neat.
Yeah, she's in a fair amount of Burton's movies.
Sure.
I love her in. Have you seen Night on Earth?
Oh, yeah, of course.
Jim
She's
Jarmusch
fantastic
movie?
in that.
I love her in that.
Yes.
As the taxi driver.
We've now been introduced to Glenn Shaddix as Otho Finlock. Very interesting character. He's been in several of Burton's other films as well. It's a fun dynamic between all these characters. They're all quite different and
Yeah, their dynamics are very, cartoonish and potent.
yeah, and they're
Very vibrant characters.
basically the opposite from our couple here, the Maitlands.
Sure.
They're the Maitlands are very, again, like salt of the earth, grounded people, normal people, kind of fixed up this old house. They love like old classic stuff. And then this family comes in, they're all like modern,
Sure.
artsy,
Yeah.
wealthy. It's like very, very different.
Right.
And so it creates a great kind of conflict here as they want to
Whereas,
basically destroy this house.
The classic haunt is the inverse of that. So you have your small town, nice straight-laced family haunted by the rich old ghosts.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep, good point.
It's like the opposite of this. Oh my gosh.
All these guys.
That is just a great,
Yeah, look, now it's just a dummy.
scary-
See that? That's
such a great, scary,
Just for that
out of
one
nowhere,
shot.
like, whoa, what the heck
Yeah.
was that?
yeah. It just, it'll never cease to amaze me that they created that
It's an amazing
dummy for that one.
yeah.
I mean, it's
That
not
one
even a half second.
fraction
you
of a
see it.
shot. Amazing effect. It looks so good. It looks like she really ripped her face off.
Oh yeah, 100%.
But it wasn't like gratuitously violent.
No.
or-
It was quick. That's the thing.
Yeah.
The editing in this is really good. I love this too. Another great one. I love thinking about them on set, having to ignore Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin standing there. Catherine O'Hara is so unhinged here. In a different way
I
than
love
Home
her
Alone.
earrings.
Oh yeah.
They give
the
her
wardrobe.
Great, they give her great motion without her having to really
Yeah,
move a
yeah.
lot.
The wardrobe, the hair and makeup. This actually won an Oscar for best makeup.
Really?
The year it came out. Yes, it did.
I believe it.
Yeah,
It's terrific.
I agree.
Even our lovely couple are starting
Yep.
to look corpsey.
Yep.
A little gray.
This is good. Headless horseman reference. Good stuff. The original guy that Burton wanted for Beetlejuice was Sammy Davis Jr.
Really?
Which would have been a totally different
Yeah.
thing.
completely.
This movie also originally had 2 alternate titles. One being House Ghosts, which is, I think,
That's
a lot more
title.
boring, right? And then the other one that was a little more sounds more like a parody was Scared Sheetless.
Oh, okay.
Because, they wear the sheets.
Yeah, it's a little more punny.
Yeah.
What did you say? Ghost? What, House Ghost?
House Ghosts instead of House Guests, I guess.
Oh. That's okay.
Yeah. Beetlejuice was the right pick. Very memorable.
It's hard to
unique
know.
title.
It's hard to understand it's hard to sell Beetlejuice though.
Yeah,
you don't know
I
what
guess.
that is.
True.
So I get it. I understand the alternate name.
Here it is. Here comes the sandworms again. They're back on Arrakis. Cultivating that desert power.
This basically looks like Lynch's Dune.
It kind of does.
There's that
Almost looks better, really.
awesome snake, stop motion creature.
Yes, looks fantastic.
This kind of like design of like a snaky, striped thing is shown up in a lot of Tim Burton stuff.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's even in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Wonder where that came from. Some traumatic event in Burton's childhood.
Probably nightmare or something.
Black and white sock.
Right.
Hanging in his. I love Winona Ryder's costume here.
She's got gloves as a headband.
Yeah, and like big her earrings are nuts.
And yeah, Winona is like
in constant mourning.
The ultimate goth girl. I mean,
sure.
She's the ultimate, picture of that idea of teen goth angst, and probably inspired many, goth.
My whole life is a dark room. That's such a good line.
Especially in the 90s, this kind of was late 80s.
It's a very quotable movie. A lot of Burton's movies have that kind of like hot topic goth kid aesthetic.
Sure.
But I think that's just surface level. I think underneath all of that, there is actually good character and good story here.
Oh, she has a great character development here.
Yeah.
Lydia Deetz.
Too many people take Tim Burton's aesthetic without recognizing the actual craft behind it.
Yep.
Tim Burton's a smart guy.
He is 100%. He knows story.
He can make some good movies.
He does.
Big Fish and Ed Wood
man.
Are both, I think, his best movies ever.
Fantastic. I love when a camera moves to reveal something instead of cutting.
Sure.
I love that. I think it's just that film language. Visual
it's kind of more efficient.
I agree.
Depending on the tone and the pacing of the scene.
Sure. It's great to create a little bit of unease. Usually, is what it kind of does.
When you're trying to show something frantic that's going on.
Right.
You want to kind of cut around quickly, like we're kind of doing here.
Right.
We've got more of a frantic scene, so we're cutting directly to what's going on.
Yeah. This is good. So here's our again kind of reintroduction of our title character. I don't dare say his name.
Yeah, the idea that you have a service that exists to get rid of people who are trying to live in haunted houses.
It's kind of a Ghostbusters-esque.
It's like the reverse of Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
The ghosts are trying to bust the people.
Right. It's true. Yeah. I haven't really thought of it that way, but it is very much that. Hire this service to help.
He's basically a pest control service for people.
The humans are the pests.
Right. Which these people are very much pests.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, these are the kind of people that you would want to haunt. It's a great moment. Jeffrey Jones, he's an underrated actor. He showed up a lot in the 80s with Ferris Bueller. Obviously, he's Rooney, the principal in Ferris Bueller. And I think he's a really, really good actor, really funny guy. Catherine O'Hara, she's always been fantastic. Winona, though, this being her first movie, it's really a great performance. She's very natural, in this character just like fits her.
Sure.
You know? It's good casting all around here.
Definitely.
Again, casting directors need an Oscar category, in my opinion. I don't know why they don't have one. It's such a vital part of movie making. Talked about that on a recent podcast. Check out our Best Superhero Casting podcast now on the channel.
I love that her daughter, it looks exactly like her.
Yeah, they're always dressed the same. It's got the same haircut.
It's like an American Girl doll.
Yes, right. Just ripping apart their house. Love the smoke. So great. That's a great reveal shot.
Smoke makes the light look a lot better.
Yes. She's got the big black key. Great. And here's our commercial for our again, I don't know what to call him. I figure he's the antagonist, really, ultimately. You think he's going to be the protagonist. You think he's there to help. He's really not. He's all in it for himself.
Sure.
He's a very selfish character.
Sure.
And he is helping them, but again, he's doing it in a very self-motivated, self-motivated reasoning.
Right. He is a chaotic. He embodies
he's
chaos.
The ultimate chaos. Yeah, he's the ultimate chaotic.
So it's
character.
hard to really call him a villain.
Yeah, you can't really. He's not anything. He's just chaos incarnate.
He's just selfishly chaotic.
Right.
And
Michael Keaton,
self-obsessed, really.
Yeah. Michael Keaton is phenomenal. He totally lets loose in this role.
Yeah,
it's one of those roles that you can just go nuts with.
There's a big difference between Michael Keaton crazy and Jim Carrey crazy.
Oh, good point. Yeah.
Michael Keaton because Michael Keaton's a lot more like schlubby and sleazy and kind of like he's still energetic and cartoony, but he's like he's more like the what's the Looney Tunes character I'm thinking of? He's hunting for rabbits. What's his name?
Oh, Elmer Fudd.
He's more of the Elmer Fudd.
Sure.
To Jim Carrey's Bugs Bunny.
Yeah. It's a pretty good analogy, I think. I think that tracks.
Have they ever been in a movie together?
Keaton and Carrey? I don't think so.
Really? They should.
I think of.
They should have been.
Yeah, that would have been interesting to see, for sure.
I mean, he should have just been in Batman Forever.
If Burton had gotten to make his Batman 3,
yeah,
I think he was going to call it Batman Triumphant. And it was going to have Robin. I think it was going to have Riddler, but I think he wanted Robin Williams as Riddler.
That's right, I heard
if I remember
that.
right.
Yeah.
I always thought this was a cool moment. Again, I love the lighting like this, the green just under the door. Oh, I love that light on her eyes,
Makes no sense for light to be on
no,
her eyes, but
no,
it's
no,
great.
No,
it works,
yes,
story-wise.
Absolutely.
Because lighting is telling you the story visually.
Do what looks cool.
So.
Always do what looks cool.
Yeah. It has purpose.
Yes.
The light is significant.
Yes.
You don't just blast light around. I love the modern.
They've destroyed this house.
The modern aesthetic
They just hate it.
They've put over the house.
Right. Just silly. This
is
guy
he in the Harry Potter movies?
I don't think so.
I thought I recognized him.
He's in Ed Wood. He's in, like I said, he's in several of other Burton's other films.
Yeah.
Bird watching.
Gross.
Bird just eating the carcass. Great. Classic family dynamic here. Deadbeat dad. Obsessive mom. isolated kid. This is where it gets really strange on another level.
I love this room.
Ah, it's great. Look at that effect. It looks fantastic. Shrunken head. Love that. All these just awful ways to die. Let's think of the most gruesome ways and just odd.
And there's still like a very 60s pop.
Yeah, 100%.
60s pop art
Yep.
situation going on still.
Definitely. Very indie Warhol.
Like the dead bodies are like brightly colored dead bodies.
Yep. Yeah, this whole idea, of making the afterlife this kind of just endless bureaucracy of paperwork
Right.
and waiting rooms and all of this stuff.
Reminds me a little bit of Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio.
Okay, yeah.
It has
I can
some
see that.
moments like that.
Mm-hmm.
The Blue Fairy.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that one has more of a like ethereal quality.
Sure.
But I can see what you mean.
It still has the paperwork
Mhm,
kind of
mhm.
aesthetic. One
Right.
show that does paperwork, it's like my favorite way to use paperwork, I think, in a fantasy story, is Hilda
Yeah.
on Netflix. Have you seen
Okay,
Hilda?
I think I've heard of it. I've probably seen the
I
trailer.
love Hilda.
Okay.
The idea with Hilda is the fantasy creatures exist,
Mm-hmm.
but you can only see them if you file your paperwork properly. So she has like an elf friend.
Okay.
She can only see the elf if she
Right.
files the proper paperwork.
It's funny.
It's great.
Cool idea. I've always liked models. I
Mhm.
remember Grandma had a Christmas village
Oh,
she
yeah.
would set up
Yeah.
each year. I was always fascinated by.
I love this skeleton right here. It's great.
This guy's great. Yeah, this what a
Smoking,
great.
Clearly set himself on fire.
Oh man.
So many great. With a cigarette.
Look at
Such
that.
a good line.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It
They
looks
they got
so
his-
cool.
I guess they got his head through the wall.
Yeah.
And then that's so cool.
Oh, I love it. I love this little guy. Oh, it's hilarious. Again, no dialogue. It's just all visual.
Right.
It's just like, we're going to set the camera here, and Gina, you just react to this guy. Gets a little morbid in some moments, as expected.
Yeah.
This is one of my favorites,
That's a great
too.
one.
Oh, man, look at that. Oh, that looks crazy.
Yes, a dark sense of humor.
Yes.
It's a complete prosthetic there. These skeletons are great.
Look at that. So good. Yeah, like it's like a neon, like
He's like hung up. He's like strung up.
Yeah,
by
right.
the
He can't walk. So
string.
they gotta shimmy him back and forth, and
hilarious.
he goes right through that little slit in the wall. Oh man. I love this whole look. Again, it's so just different from anything I've seen before.
Tim Burton's mind is truly a strange place.
It really is. And then this again, the black and white motif comes back, the checkered look. All these little weird moments. All these great little character actors popping in for like one little line and then just ducking out. It's so great.
We don't really have those anymore. Now we just
No.
have cameos.
Yeah.
We would never get that character in a movie
Mhm.
today. It would be a reference to something
Uh-huh.
from another movie.
Right.
It wouldn't just be a guy.
Yeah.
a janitor who happens to be there says something funny.
Yep.
That's the piece of art from earlier.
Yep. So this is kind of setting up the some scenes later in the movie that we'll see at this dining room table behind them.
A good little visual hints and nods as to where you are.
And here we have Sylvia Sidney as Juno.
She's been in a lot of stuff. I feel like I've seen her in a couple of things.
She's fantastic. She's great in this. She's the character that kind of comes in and has to explain everything, so kind of has a lot of exposition. But she just delivers it in such a compelling way, so matter of fact. She's been around the block. She's got to kind of deal with these people. She's kind of over it. But just a really good actress. One of those memorable faces and voices. Her voice is very memorable too. And this is again kind of bringing us back to this idea of, okay, we want to haunt the house, to get them out. How are we going to accomplish this? And it all leads back to
He looks like Clark
Mr.
Kent.
Beetlejuice. He does, doesn't he? Yeah. I think one of the Baldwins did a DC thing.
Really? That'd be funny.
One of his brothers did, or I can't remember.
Costume design is very good.
Yeah. Look at the smoke. See it coming out of her.
Mm-hmm. Out of her lungs, yeah.
Her throat.
Slit in the throat, yeah. Really interesting effect they have going on there.
Uh-huh. And again, lighting. The way the lighting's changed, in the scene.
Right.
To kind of add to the drama. And since we're in this fantasy world, it can do that, and it doesn't have to make sense.
Sure.
I like that.
Really sucks you right in.
Mm-hmm.
Everything from like her pearl earrings and her pearl necklace, everything's very like reflective of the light. That effect is so cool.
Great effect. Again, all these effects are just, they hold up. It doesn't, they don't try to go too far with any of it.
Yeah, until they go into the desert and it looks terrible.
Well, yeah, I guess. And this is a great shot too. I love this, going into the model. It's all, it feels handheld. I don't know how they did it, but it looks good. This great moment with the fly. Again, it feels like one of those old, 50s monster movies. The fly here. Here lies Beetlejuice.
It's a weird way to spell that word.
Yeah, it is. It's not spelled, it's just pronounced differently. That's why the title is the way it is, because if they spelled it that way, it wouldn't be pronounced right. Robert Goulet is introduced here. Famous singer, known more for his singing.
Mm-hmm.
Also had an acting career. Will
He
Ferrell
has
did a
that-
great
he has
Saturday
that
Night Live skit about him.
Right, of course. He has
Robert
that.
Goulet.
He has that suave
Oh yeah.
50s looking
He would have made a
leading
great,
man.
like, Dick Tracy or
Sure,
somebody like
sure.
that, you know?
He looks like a Humphrey Bogart type.
Private detective
Yeah.
in the big
He's got
city.
Big city behind him, yeah.
Right. Fedora, trench coat.
The lighting is so good.
Mhm,
Just the little
A little bit of
little
light on
focal
the door.
light.
Uh-huh.
And that white handle.
And pushing the camera in.
Oh, that's great.
It's great because again, it's you know, the whole story is kind of showing you like they can't do this. Like it's not
Sure.
it's not working for them.
Yeah.
They don't know how to do this.
You need to hire a
They
professional.
have to find another
This is
way.
so I don't know if you caught that, but that shot
Mm-hmm.
was so elaborate
Yeah.
because they're not
And
touching the
TV
floor.
Right.
They're gliding.
Uh-huh.
So they're on a separate platform
Right,
that's
uh-huh.
moving while
Yep.
the camera's panning.
Yep.
It's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a child.
Right.
All of her lines are so quotable.
They are. And they're just classic, you know, teen kid lines.
I love that all her makeup is smeared on.
Yeah, it's
her
great.
side.
Great little touch there.
And see another
They're floating.
the glide. It's so
Floating is
good.
great.
She has so many cameras.
I know, yeah. All different kinds. She's always taking photos. That's kind of her thing. Photography and cinematography. And Winona was interviewed recently about that. She's kind of disparaging her younger co-stars. You know, she's on Stranger Things and all these other projects where she's kind of the one of the older ones on set, and she's talking about how kids aren't, they don't have the attention spans anymore. Every time she asks them if they've seen a movie or tells them about a movie they should watch, they always say, how long is it?
How long is
Because
it?
we're in the TikTok generation now where
Uh,
kids just want a 30-second video and they're to be done.
yeah.
It's kind of sad.
I mean, I'll always adhere to the 90-minute rule.
I like the 90-minute rule, and this movie adheres to it. This movie's 92 minutes long.
90 minutes is the perfect length for
It
every
is.
movie.
It's great.
30 minutes per act.
Right.
Although some movies require more.
I don't mind a 1 hour per act. I don't mind a 3-hour film.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Sometimes it calls for it.
I've seen decent 4-hour films.
I have too.
Fair amount.
I agree.
Some historical epics require them.
I agree. So it's cool that we have now a connection with one of the Dietzes,
Mm-hmm.
and she's kind of brought into their world.
Yeah, she's kind of smiley now.
Yeah. It's kind of what she's always wanted. You know,
Sure.
this strange and unusual.
And what's cool is they really care about something.
Yes.
Whereas like her parents really don't, and that's kind of why she doesn't really
Uh-huh.
care about very much.
Right.
Yeah.
She's just fascinated by it all. You know, she's not scared at all. And it's going to be interesting to see how they, you know, continue the story in the sequel years later with her as an adult. What she's going to be doing, what she's going to be into, what's the trajectory for her character.
It'll probably be terrible.
I'm not expecting much. I'm really not.
This machine is a very Burton machine.
Yeah.
A little digging machine.
For sure.
Burton
Spin stuff
loves
out
to
the
do. He loves elaborate machinery and
yeah.
mechanisms.
That opening of Pee-wee with the breakfast machine.
Yes. He takes 2 bites and leaves.
Right.
So good.
You've got the. There's that machine in Edward Scissorhands, you know, where he's making the Edward Scissorhands.
Right, and then eventually you get to. Anyway, I know I keep bringing up Charlie and the Chocolate
Yeah,
Factory.
because it's his worst film.
It is both his worst film and his most self-indulgent film.
Yeah.
Because every Burton-ism, every trope he was known for,
right,
in that movie is taken to the far extreme.
Yeah, with awful-looking CGI.
Sure. It's kind of the George Lucas
right, the prequel
plague,
effect. Yeah,
where when you give the man no limits and no notes, that's what happens.
I agree.
When he's not trying to prove anything, he just gets to do whatever.
Right. You have to limit creativity in some ways to make it more creative and interesting, really. Which is
a big problem that we're seeing nowadays with budgets of over $200 million
right,
per movie. It's sad.
You shouldn't really need more than $100 million for any movie.
It's so weird.
I mean, and that's only if you're employing, thousands of people. Because it's such an epic production that you need that much money.
It's all executive producers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we just did a Terminator podcast. The first Terminator movie, $6 million.
Wow.
I mean, and it still holds up. It looks fantastic.
This movie looks like it was like this movie is like Spirit Halloween. You know what I mean? Like it is like a haunted house.
It's the ultimate Halloween
film. The movie is like Halloween incarnate.
Yeah.
And it's not necessarily an October movie. It's not.
No, it's like set in the summer.
It's not set during Halloween. Yeah. It's just kind of. Yeah, I guess it's just the afterlife.
Right, the whole aesthetic of that.
Of the cork.
Yeah, they basically built a life-size model.
So
kind of
cool.
Crazy. All the cardboard they're digging up and all that. Yeah, I guess one of the additions in the script was to say his name 3 times.
Right.
The original script was they just had to dig him up and he was kind of free. But I like limiting these characters that have these kind of unlimited power.
Yeah, it's the genie effect.
The genie thing, yeah.
Teeny tiny living space.
Look at that intro. Few character introductions are as great as this one. I mean, he's just floating around, He's so fast. His dialogue is so fast.
Right.
And it's all expertly delivered. He was a stand-up comic. That was kind of how he got his start.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's such a unique character.
The cartoon effects that accompany his actions.
Uh-huh.
The little slide whistles and whoops and wishes.
Right.
His big expressive black eyes. It's great.
It's great. The voice, everything about it, the physicality, the makeup department just went all out, did a great job with him and his hair and all of it. It's one of those instantly recognizable characters, one of those iconic silhouettes even.
Right, with his crazy hair.
Yeah, you can just see him in silhouette.
Hobo suit.
Right.
Yeah.
It's good.
The Black Plague. Have you seen The Exorcist?
Oh yeah. It's one of those I kind of consider it a must-see because it is so referenced.
Sure. It's a very culturally relevant movie.
Yeah, it is. It changed the game. I mean, really, in horror. It's a great moment. It's a great moment that shows what you don't show is scarier. You know what I mean? Like, you have a hint of, what did they just see, but you don't actually know. And it's kind of scarier for it. because you have to imagine. These quick costume changes too, like again, it all goes back to editing, how important editing is in the movie.
Yeah, Beetlejuice is he's more than just another dead person.
Yeah, he
isn't like the others.
Yeah, he's got
clearly
extra stuff going on.
He's clearly a more powerful and dangerous presence than the others.
Yeah. The reactions are great. Going to their quick reactions to these things is what helps sell it too.
His little walk and run.
Yeah, the way, again, it's all the physicality here of how he moves.
Makes himself look so big and wide and just awkward. He just takes up all attention is on him always.
Yes. Very
it's
big
such
character, personality.
Big such a selfish performance.
Very self-indulgent.
Right,
It's like ultimate.
Which as an actor in a scene, you want to service the scene.
Right, exactly.
But when you have a character like that, they just kind of absorb and exude all the energy. Mm-hmm. It's hard to play off of something like that.
Right, and that's why Davis and Baldwin have to play so straight and normal. Because if they were wacky and crazy too, it wouldn't work. You would have nothing to play off of.
Right.
You have to have those normal, average, just, again, kind of very relatable characters in with something that wild. Dialogue is really good.
Yeah,
it's really
there
funny.
are a lot of memorable lines. That kind of morbid humor.
Yeah.
Not even really dark humor, just kind of like...
it doesn't put you down. It's just kind of like...
Right. Like dark humor I think of as more kind of like a little sad.
Right.
But this is just like... it's nonchalant about... being morbid.
And this hairstyle on Catherine O'Hara again.
Right.
So bizarre. And
here's why I think Beetlejuice will be terrible. Because this movie is completely sincere. There is not a moment in this movie when any of these characters are like, we're acting so silly, this is just a movie.
Right.
I'm whatever, winking at the camera like, this is silly.
Yeah.
Like, all our dialogue is so crazy.
Right.
They just do it. They just are. This is the world. These are the lines. This is the script. This is the story.
Right.
It's never self-aware. It's not meta-postmodern.
Yeah.
It's just trying to be a movie.
Right.
Whereas I think at this point, Beetlejuice has to be a self-referential, meta, full of fourth wall breaks. Like this scene right here.
Yeah.
And in a lot of other scenes, people look directly into the camera, and it's not like we're breaking the fourth wall.
No,
it's like they're looking at into the audience and into we're ghosts, and they're looking through us.
Sure.
So I don't have high hopes for the sequel. I don't know how it could be any good.
Yeah.
I love how off the rails this scene gets.
Yeah, this is one of the most iconic scenes in any Burton film. Really, almost in any film. I think this is, even if you haven't seen the movie, I feel like you kind of know this scene. It's one of those scenes that's just kind of permeated the zeitgeist, the culture. And when anyone hears this song now, they think of the scene, I feel like.
Well, what's weird is they've turned this song into the emotional, slowed down, dramatic,
for the trailer, they did that.
Oh, we're back into this
right.
emotional story we're so nostalgic for.
Yeah, but this scene is just silly. There's nothing emotional about it.
It's a complete joke. And it's bizarre,
right?
And it's Nothing about this is serious or...
The performances are all in here. I mean, you got to give credit to all these actors for doing this, because how can you do this?
It takes a great actor to embarrass
It really
themselves.
does. It really, you just have to release all inhibitions and just go with it. It's funny, we had shrimp tonight for dinner.
So many elaborate sets and effects that you have to set up for stuff like that.
I know. It's amazing.
Single shot, we have to get 4 guys with these puppet hands.
Yeah, shrimp hands.
All under the table.
And again, the movie
They
takes
love
another
it.
turn, right? It's
Yeah.
like they're not freaked out. They
Right.
kind of love this. They're like, we're gonna sell tickets. We're gonna make money off this. This is gonna be great. It's such an odd way to look at it.
Yeah,
but
it's such a fun experience
Uh-huh.
to be haunted.
Right, right. People are gonna love this. Again, because they're so greedy. They're so business-minded. They're so obsessed with wealth and,
Status.
Yeah.
It's really status.
and
It's more than
popularity.
it's more than
Right.
greed.
Mm-hmm.
It is. Everyone will want to come to our parties,
Yeah.
and
Right.
and that's been a pretty consistent motif throughout Burton's filmography. Has been
Yeah, that's what's interesting about Burton. I just watched Batman Returns last night, and that movie has a lot. It's set during Christmas, has a lot to do with commercialism.
classism.
And that is definitely a strong theme throughout his films. Is that idea of business and art?
Right. His decision to make a biopic movie and decide to make it about Ed Wood is really telling, I think.
Right, and his other one, I don't know if you've seen Big Eyes.
I've heard of Big Eyes. I haven't seen
Big
it
Eyes is
yet.
fantastic.
I hear it's great.
And it's a lot about that, too. It's about an artist who kind of plagiarizes.
Yeah.
I mean, essentially.
Yeah.
He's a liar, he's a thief, essentially.
Right, and he's still broke.
Yeah.
But he acts like a sleazy... and there's so many sleazy producers in Ed Wood.
Yeah.
Ed Wood's a great film.
That is a great one. And another thing that I always think about when I watch this now is, this is his second movie?
I know, it's so ambitious.
Ambitious and just well made.
Mm-hmm.
Just that early in your career to have that vision. I mean, Pee-wee was already a thing, right? Paul Rubens had that stage show and all that.
But you have to think, early on in every great director's career, early on, you always see them trying their hardest.
Yeah.
And when a great filmmaker really tries their hardest, you get some of their best work.
I agree.
I mean, look at Iron Giant, Incredibles, of Brad Bird's first movies, American Graffiti, Lucas.
To me, Spielberg doesn't get enough credit for Duel or for Sugarland Express.
Yeah. Duel's fantastic.
Those are both great movies. But yeah, the vision, man. The vision Burton had for this.
Mm-hmm.
This is, Pee-wee's great. I'm a huge fan of Pee-wee, but this to me is so Burton.
Sure.
It's just like him unhinged and just like showing people what he can do and what his aesthetic is, his style.
They simply would never make this today.
Oh no.
If someone had the idea of this new original story,
right.
and it's this guy who's made one movie before,
right,
and he wants to do this. He's gonna have these known actors and stuff.
Right.
We just don't get movies like this that are artist driven.
Right.
Singular vision.
Every
focused.
once in a while they'll slip through, like Jordan Peele. his films.
But
I guess he had.
he's so established
yeah,
already.
You're right. He had a.
He's
long
already
career
so
before
established in the industry.
that. Right. Maybe Robert Eggers.
Maybe
He does such off the wall stuff. I guess he doesn't have a very big budget. Maybe this one didn't have a very big budget. This one's budget was $15 million.
Well, this is a mid-budget movie. This is an era when we had mostly mid-budget movies.
Right.
We have no mid-budget movies now.
Yeah.
We have low-budget movies
Yeah, like
and
1 million or 100.
uber-inflated budget movies.
It's true.
There are no $10 million movies anymore.
Yeah. A24 is keeping it alive.
I have mixed feelings about A24.
Do you?
I like that you're able to. This is so cool.
Look at
there
that.
it is.
That's
It's the
crazy.
famous Burton snake face.
Love it.
That's the one that's in Pee-wee and
Right.
it shows up all over the place,
Oh,
all
yeah.
over his filmography.
Uh-huh.
It looks just like Beetlejuice
Yeah. As a snake.
as a snake. Yeah.
And combining the stop motion with the live action, is always fun to watch.
Yeah, practical.
Doing these
tentacle
those
into
little
the-
insert shots. See, like that. That's really cool.
Creepy.
That's
He's
great.
a
That's what a
creepo.
great close up.
Oh no.
Great. Now we have conflict. Now we have drama. Beetlejuice has kind of interrupted their whole thing. They've unleashed something they didn't understand.
They didn't read the manual.
Yeah. I love all this interacting with the model. It's such a cool idea. And then this, like, shots like that are great too. Again, all these effects, this just simple effects work that is very effective.
Yeah,
it's always
kind of is
referencing
it
movies.
kind of is a very genie performance.
Yeah. I wonder about that if Robin Williams watched this and went, I'm going to kind of draw from this a little bit. Because, again, he is always referencing pop culture stuff and movies and different things that make it just stand out and be different. And the genie does that all the time. In his references to the Marx Brothers and all the rest of it.
But anyways, like I was saying earlier, before I was distracted by the snake, the amazing snake.
Right.
A24, I have mixed feelings about A24.
Yeah.
Because they have a very uniform aesthetic. You know you're watching an A24 movie when you're watching one.
I don't know. I
They
guess.
are relatively like creator driven.
Yeah. I feel like they are. I feel like
I don't
I
know.
feel like
It just seems
pretty
too
standalone.
it seems too machine.
Mm.
It's like machined indie movies.
Right.
So I have mixed feelings about it.
Okay.
Some of them are terrific.
Yeah. I was gonna say some of them really stand out.
Yeah.
As being different to me. Again, the background, the little things that are going on in the background, like all that neon, the skeletons and all that, are great. These football players, There's great little moments, little gags. Like this, These football players just don't, they don't get it, they're just so dim-witted.
They're brain dead. Every one of them is brain dead.
Right.
Literally.
Too many concussions.
I wonder who that guy is back there.
I don't know.
It's funny.
Just a random guy, you know.
House on the Hill motif is one that Burton uses a lot.
Mm-hmm. Standalone house all by itself.
You kind of love that that frame.
Mm-hmm.
This whole shot is
Mm-hmm.
very cool. Yeah, it's interesting because visually there's a lot of whiplash going on. You go from very cleanly lit, flat, like straightforward shots like this one.
Right.
I mean, it's still Burton-y because it's, you know, it's geometrical and it's, you know.
It's strange because
But
it's
you'll
it's a wall in the middle of a...
Right. You'll go from that to, like, the Land of the Dead, neon lights and dimly lit smoke everywhere.
Right.
But it's tonally consistent.
Yeah.
That's what makes it work. Because it's not like you go from a comedy to a drama. It has the same tone across the whole film.
Right.
You're utterly alone.
And I like that she is saying it and not just writing it and we're hearing a voiceover or something like that. Adds something to the scene.
Very difficult to read while you're writing.
Right.
To speak while you're writing.
Right, right. And back here to the dank, oddly lit, you know, interior.
Office.
So bizarre. So weird.
Kind of reminds me of Brazil a little bit.
Yeah, it has a little bit of that.
Some Brazil vibes.
See that?
I love Brazil.
Again, that film's all about bureaucracy, you know.
Right. Oh my god.
Look at that. I love that. It's so good. Look at this. The eyes on the fingers.
It's like the ultimate silly face.
Yeah.
Classic meme.
Yes.
Whoa. It is scary funny.
Yeah,
really is.
yeah, right? It is like
because if
you don't want to
if you were to light it in a different way and it were in a different context,
right.
It's utter horror.
Totally.
It's like John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yeah,
horror.
right. But in this like very mundane office, it's not at all scary. Another great little one-line character that just steps in and has some fun. So here's another turn as these two characters interact that the story takes.
Is this their first meeting?
Yeah, I mean, she just saw him. I don't think she really knows it's him in the stairwell.
Yeah. But I'm sure this will be the reference point for the Legacy sequel.
Possibly.
Because this will be the relationship that I assume that movie's focused on is between Winona Ryder and Beetlejuice.
Possibly. Or, you know, she has a daughter now, so maybe that'll be the more of the focus. I don't know.
Right.
Can't really tell with the
No,
trailers.
we can only speculate at this point.
Yeah. I'm glad the trailers haven't given away a lot. You know, the trailers, obviously, they focused more on referencing the original, and I hope the whole movie isn't that. If the whole movie's that, it's not going to work. But if it does some new, fresh things, it could be good. None of us thought Top Gun Maverick would work, but it worked. It's possible
Top
to
Gun
make a good
Maverick
one.
works, I think, because Top Gun is like nothing. I mean, Top Gun's
Right.
a very like run-of-the-mill 80s
Simple,
movie.
yeah.
It has very little substance.
Right. That quick moment with the roach. Just waving high. This is a great gag, too. All these little gags to get her to say the name. She's on to him. I like that she's not, she's not too naive.
Sure.
She's just naive enough. And, I like that they have to have a conversation with these
His little
faces,
mouth. His little mouth is great.
So crazy and weird.
The tongue animation's awesome.
Yeah, it is.
But they have their same normal voices.
Yeah,
They're just a
exactly.
sweet
Yeah,
couple.
that's it. I love that. He fixes her hair real quick. It's a good moment. Again, morbid, just writing the line of being kind of scary.
You get to a little bit of kind of the heart of
Right.
the movie.
Yeah.
Their relationship.
Yeah. You want to live. Living's good. Life is good. He's still trying to switch back. He can't quite figure it out. This is a cool gag. He pushes it in like that. It's a good camera trick. He's got his strategy worked out here now. How he's gonna capitalize on all this.
The parking.
Yeah.
He's so obsessed with parking.
He is, yeah. Earlier with
he
the
was scouting out
binoculars.
the house earlier.
Yeah.
Terrible roof, great parking.
And we've got Robert Goulet back in the scene, which is great. They're totally just using their daughter for the ghost at this point.
Well, she's profitable now.
Right. He's over there just in the corner. He's got the book, so he's read the book.
That's right. You gotta read the manual. I've seen this lady in the pearls. I've seen her in something. She looks so familiar.
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on it. Another one of those character actors show up in a lot of things.
It's very seance-y here.
Sure. Dramatic lighting.
Chanting. Ray, I'm reminded of the Burbs. You're chanting, Ray. You're chanting.
Unconscious chanting. Once they get in here, pal, it's over. We love the Burbs.
Did you hear they're bringing the Burbs back as a series?
Oh, no.
Keke Palmer is going to lead a Burbs series on Peacock.
This is terrible news.
I agree. Don't remake the Burbs. It's a perfect film. Joe Dante at his finest. The Burbs and Gremlins.
Must everything be ruined?
Everything has
Must
to be
everything
remade,
be resurrected
rebooted.
and mutilated?
We must desecrate the graves of every great film character in existence. Did it with Wolverine.
Now here's our first little hint of the Corpse Bride.
Yeah, 100%. Corpse Bride is fun.
I don't think I've ever seen Corpse Bride.
Have you not seen it?
No. There's a decent
stop
amount.
motion, man.
A decent amount of Burton movies I haven't seen. That was an interesting overlay effect.
That was really good. Look at that makeup.
Not really a morph, like more
Yeah.
like an overlay.
Yeah. The makeup again is just stunning.
It's getting a little more serious now.
Right, right. Adding to the drama.
We're not just having fun with this anymore. Now there's danger involved.
There's some real stakes here. And I like when a movie builds like that. You know,
Right.
It's hard to keep tension throughout a whole film, even a 90-minute film.
Mm-hmm.
Some movies do it. It's very difficult. But this one builds to it. It's like very slow, kind of.
That crackle. Is so
Yeah. Cool. The music, Elfman's music again. I've always liked his scores. They're always
carries you through the emotions of the scene.
Yeah, they fit. They just fit with this whole aesthetic. And here he is in his iconic black and white striped jumpsuit. It's all dirty.
Yeah, people always criticize Elfman for everything after Batman sounding like Batman. Which is it's kind of out.
I don't know. I feel like he's done a few that have been really unique. I mean, I really like his Spider-Man score. I feel like that feels totally different from Batman.
Yeah. It has similar motifs, I think. It's that same operatic, grandiose.
Yeah, but they got the spider bongos in there, man.
It's true.
It just totally sets it apart.
It's true.
Iconic line. Here it is. With that lightning flash.
It's Showtime.
Great moment.
It's Showtime is kind of like just the actor's motto at this point.
Yeah, right.
It's not even just a Beetlejuice thing.
Right. It's Michael Keaton just going, okay, I can let loose again.
Yeah, Michael Keaton, he's kind of just... I think Beetlejuice is just part of him.
Yeah, I agree. It's another iconic costume. This carousel on his head. And
This better be exactly what Mr. Fantastic does.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Fantastic Four.
The light up. I mean, his tie lights up too.
Yeah, what a weird.
Yeah, it's just a weird thing.
It's just all of the movie
All this.
is like this.
It's a carnival, you know? Burton loves
It's
the
a
carnival
circus.
thing.
Yeah.
The circus
Yeah.
and the carnival. And he's talked about that. He talked about that because he brings clowns, of course, into Batman,
Right.
which was only a year after this. And he talked about how actually he doesn't like the circus. He's scared of clowns. He's scared of all that stuff, and that's why.
Yeah, that's why he's fascinated.
It fascinates him. He brings it all into his work. Again, Beetlejuice, just all his dialogue, the way it's delivered, the voice, it's just such a unique character and performance that I think that's why he's endured for so long.
Sure.
And why this film has become such a cult classic.
And I can't believe at this point we haven't mentioned the Beetlejuice animated series.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's included on this Blu-ray. I was watching a couple of the episodes right before this, and it's interesting.
I can't believe it exists. I had never heard of it.
It started I think like a year or two after this movie came out, and it lasted 4 seasons,
It's shocking.
which is crazy.
Shocking.
It was pretty popular. It had all kinds of like toy tie-ins and
Sure,
the tie-ins
sure.
with like McDonald's and stuff. I think, and
Yeah.
it's pretty popular.
He's such a cartoon in and of
Totally.
himself. It makes perfect sense.
Right. And the movie made $75 million, so I guess I call it a cult classic. It wasn't really. It was a pretty decent hit. You know, it was enough of a hit to have Burton make Batman right after this.
Mm-hmm.
But it wasn't like Batman. Batman is like one of the first blockbusters. You know, it's like
Sure.
Jaws happened, and then the next really big blockbuster was Batman. It was the first kind of like IP franchise film where there was like toy tie-ins, T-shirts,
Sure.
all that stuff.
This creepy sculpture.
I love this. Again, all the stop motion work I just adore. Obviously,
People are just afraid to use it now, I
Burton
guess.
used to- Yeah, I don't know what it is about stop motion that people. I guess again, CGI is just so taken over, and films today are always trying to be so realistic.
They're so lacking in charm.
I agree. I love this. I love this character.
This little guy.
This character is so great. I love that his voice changes to her voice.
Mm-hmm. He's got the who did that in a recent movie? I must be thinking of Star Trek.
Oh.
There's an episode where Data
Changes his voice.
Yeah, he copies Picard's voice perfectly. I thought I saw that.
Oh, they do it in Terminator.
That's right, Terminator. Yes, we just watched
all those.
T2.
Yep.
Of course.
Yeah.
The other android.
Right.
That is so
Look
cool.
at that. It's a real thing.
I don't know how. I don't know how you can do that.
Isn't that crazy?
It's so cool.
It looks so much better. I mean,
Yeah, when it's real.
yeah, CGI, I get it. It makes it easier. You know, you don't have to build all
Your
this
effects,
stuff.
if your effects are consistent all the way through,
Yep.
then whatever. But you should really combine your effects.
Yeah, yeah. It always looks better when you combine them. drive the truck through the model. So that moment right there, that throwaway gag, is what it seems like the plot of the second film was based on. Because...
Desperate.
Monica Bellucci's character in the sequel, if you notice in the trailer, she's missing a finger.
Desperate.
And so that's her finger. They were married at one point, and I guess that's going to play into the plot somehow.
It's like making a movie about the Kessel Run.
Yeah, kinda.
Desperate. Uncreative. Lacking in imagination.
Fortunately, Solo's not all about the Kessel Run. It's only one scene.
It's
in
true.
that movie.
It's true. But that movie could have been so much more.
It could have been great. It could have been better.
Than the origin
I
of
still
Han
like it a
Solo's
lot.
the origin of Han Solo's vest. Vestman origins. It's like Black Widow.
Right.
This is so great.
Yeah, it's a really good...
Returning to this new status quo.
Yes, it's a great way to close the film
so
out.
cool.
You know, you've gone crazy and bombastic, and to kind of close it all out, you end with this moment with Lydia kind of being a little bit more normal.
I told him no way, it's against my religion.
Right. Again, the cast is just great, the way they play off each other. And, and Winona especially. She's just excellent.
I guess she's just adopted by them now.
I guess so.
I love it.
Why not?
I mean, it only makes sense.
Adopted by the
By
dead.
ghosts.
by the ghosts.
Got the new
The
manual.
living and the dead, yeah. So yeah, they are still there. They're not as involved in her life as the ghosts, but they're still there. Again, a great visual moment. Kind of calls back that Beetlejuice introduction.
Yeah. It's a terrific finale.
It's such a perfect ending.
Every movie should end with a great song.
Song and dance number, yeah. It's so good.
Yeah, heaps of fun. This movie's
is.
heaps of fun.
It really is. It's just a great time. Getting a final moment with Beetlejuice being a creep. It's great. His facial expressions, like everything about this performance is just big and boisterous. Just such a sleazy, like kind of the ultimate sleazy character. Shrunken head moment.
It's a great comeuppance for his character
It is,
because
yeah.
he's had such a big head the whole movie.
Right. It's very thematic.
So what a great ending. I'm glad that they never continued it.
Right.
Because it wraps itself up so well.
It does.
Football.
It's going to be tough. It's
The
going to be
football
tough to follow
players.
this up.
The football.
I know.
Why? Just cause. It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
Yay.
That's it, folks, for Beetlejuice. What do you think? This is only your second time seeing it, right? I've seen this so many times.
Yeah, this is heaps of fun. I've enjoyed watching it every time I've seen it.
It is a fun movie. I agree.
It's not my favorite Burton movie.
No, but it's his. Again, like I was saying earlier, it's his earliest film that showcases everything he does.
Sure.
It's his style. It's his aesthetic.
Right.
It's his, kind of, that gothic kind of, supernatural vibe that he just excels at.
Americana horror.
Yeah.
Americana horror comedy.
What
he does.
Yeah, the kind of fun.
Yeah,
horror.
it's like going through like a like one of those Hall of Mirrors rides.
Yeah, or like a funhouse kind of thing.
Yeah, like a funhouse at the carnival.
Like you're kind of scared going in because you don't know what's in there.
And there's some scary stuff that jumps out, but it's really just kind of fun.
Right.
It's like all of his movies.
Yeah. He's a circus guy. He's like the circus ringleader.
Didn't he do Dumbo?
He did Dumbo, which was kind of the perfect fit.
Yeah.
And I think that movie's underrated. He says it's one of his worst.
Really?
I
want to see it.
I don't know if he says it's one of his worst, but
Colin Farrell's in it. It can't be bad.
Farrell's fantastic in it. Michael Keaton's in it. Danny DeVito's in it.
It's got to be great. I gotta watch it.
You really should watch it. I think it's underrated. I enjoy that movie a lot. I wouldn't call it his best either, but it's fun. It's twice the length of the original Dumbo. It's a 2-hour
I hear
film.
it continues the story.
Yeah, it does. It expands on it in many ways.
There's another movie that did that. I saw. It was like it took the movie all the way up until I'm like, oh, okay, it's over, and then it kept going. Oh, it was Peter Pan. The Peter Pan.
Oh, Peter Pan and Wendy.
Yes, Peter Pan and Wendy.
Fantastic film.
I love that movie.
It's still my favorite version of that
I think
story.
it is mine too.
On screen. David Lowery, the great A24 director of The Green Knight.
That's right.
Bringing it back to A24.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great.
Look how
great
tiny this crew is.
Look at it. That's it. I mean, that's our puppeteers.
Oh
that's
my
it.
goodness.
Here's our songs, and we're done. That's the end of the credits.
Wow, what a
Incredible
ragtag crew.
I love it. I love
Motley
it.
crew.
I wish there were more movies like this.
Yeah.
Really do.
Overworked and underappreciated. These people.
I agree. Great movie. I still enjoy it. I still enjoy it every time I watch it. It's my introduction to Burton, and it's kind of the perfect introduction to Burton, I think.
Sure.
So let us know what you folks think about Beetlejuice. Hopefully you enjoyed the commentary. Check out our other commentaries. We've enjoyed doing these. We'll do more in the future.
Thank you for listening.
See you next time right here on The Real World.